the Dreamcast. I am your host, Denise Walsh. I combine science, scripture, and stories that will inspire you to dive deep, break through your own personal glass ceiling, and design a life of your dreams. Hey, my friend, big welcome back to the Dreamcast. In this solo episode, I'm going to share with you a life update as well as a brief interview with an executive producer of a new movie coming out this weekend that we all need to see. You will love it. It's really something that I know is right up my alley, and I'm sure it's right up yours too. So let's jump into the life update. Really, I am just super de-duper-y. Is that a word? Can you tell I live with kids? I'm so excited about the Design Your Dream Life book launch that happened last month. It's been about a month since Design Your Dream Life, my new workbook that combines science, scripture, and stories, has been launched on Amazon. And I am so thrilled with your feedback. You guys are really loving it. I'm seeing transformations. I'm seeing shifts in your mind and in your heart, and you're messaging me and telling me just how the connections that you may have never made before are being made by what you're learning throughout this book. And I would just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Not only for purchasing the book, but then also for letting me know what your favorite parts are, as well as for leaving a review on Amazon. The Amazon reviews are super helpful. They just allow Amazon to see that people are purchasing it and that they like it. It makes it show up in the search rankings. And then they also will do random specials. For sometimes I'll log in and the book's on sale and I had no idea. So absolutely, if you have not yet left an Amazon review, please go do that and let me know what your feedback is. I'm always looking in the community, our Dream Life community, for ideas, feedback, for what more content you guys are looking for, what would be the most helpful for you, and that your feedback and all of that is what helps me create that. So thank you. On to the next thing is I'm doing a West Coast Dream Space in just about a month on July 6th in Victoria, Canada. Yeah, the little island off the west coast of Canada. I am coming for a once-in-a-lifetime exclusive Dream Space event. I say once in a lifetime, you guys, because the plane tickets to get there are pretty crazy. So who knows if I'll be able to go back whatever. We'll see what happens. But I'm so excited to be able to offer this event on the West Coast. We are going to do a full day workshop plus a full come as you will be party at night. So on Saturday, the event starts at 9:30 a.m. We'll begin with a session called Spark, which is all about reigniting that inner passion, that inner flame. I want all of us to be reconnected with what brings us joy and our life purpose, and all of that will happen within the session called Spark. Next up, we have Release. So after lunch, we'll have Release, which is all about the fact if it were easy, we'd already be doing it. So there's probably some things holding us back. And we really dive deep into that. And the workshop is teaching and doing. So you'll get an exercise booklet. We'll go through it. You'll do the work there, because in my reality, I'm we all often know what to do. We just don't create the space to do it. So we're going to actually do the work at Dream Space. And then session 3 is called Dream. And this is my most favorite session. This is really where I say, all right, well, what do you want? Let's put it on the calendar. We're going to get our calendars out. We're going to prioritize. We're going to ask for help. We're going to outsource. I'm going to teach you what to do every single day so that your dream becomes a reality. Every single session is so important and on purpose. And when you go through all 3 sessions together, and then you have an event like the Come As You Will Be party where we pretend like it's the year 2025 and we come dressed as that person, it really cements everything that we've learned into our cell memory, and the shifts are much more lasting. So if you are on the West Coast, if you are at all near Victoria, if you are within driving flights, anything, I absolutely would love to see you there, because these events are what trigger and a domino effect so much change in people's lives. So I just love it. Love it. And I would love to see you there. So the link for the Dream Space event in Victoria will be in the show notes below. So without further ado, I am super excited to introduce you to our next guest. So let's jump into the interview. Hey guys, we are in for a treat today. I'm super excited to interview an executive producer of The Wish Man, which is a movie coming to theaters on June 7th. And the tagline is, everyone can be a hero. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to learn more. So big welcome to the Dreamcast, Lynda West.
Hi there. Thank you so much, Denise, for having me. I'm excited to be here. I'm just so passionate about this project that I joined a little over a year ago, and it's finally coming to theaters. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to be blown away when you see this film.
Okay, so tell us, what is it all about? Like, how did it came to be, and what is the movie about?
Well, I love that you asked the question, how did it come to be? Because it's kind of an interesting story. This is the story of the creator, one of the founders of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So the Make-A-Wish Foundation has been around for, about 40 years, and they've granted almost 500,000 wishes to children. And so it's known worldwide. So many people know about the Make-A-Wish Foundation, but not many people know about the person who had the idea to start it. So that's what this story is about. It's really a story about an incredible man. His name is Frank Shankwitz. And one thing that we're really, really proud about is that pretty much everything in the story is true and based on fact. Frank was able to be on set and everything during the filming. So he was able to make sure everything lined up perfectly with the way it happened when it really did in real life. Well, it's interesting for Frank because he had a troubled childhood like many people did. And he ended up, at a young age, about, under 30 years old, creating this foundation. And it's so cool to be part of this. So how did it come to be? Well, Frank knows somebody who knows somebody, okay? Kind of like one of those stories. Frank knew this woman who introduced him to this man named Greg Reed. Now, Greg Reed has an event every year called Secret Knock. And Frank was invited to speak at Secret Knock. Well, after Frank got done speaking and telling his story about, his childhood and how the Make-A-Wish started and all the wishes that were granted, Greg Reed on stage asked him, "So, what was your wish?" And Frank said, "Nobody's ever asked me." And so it was really cool because he had this opportunity to say what his wish was. And his wish was that his story would be told so that his grandchildren would know he did something important. And so Greg said, "Granted, we are granting your wish. We're going to make this happen. It might take a few years, but I just need you to sign over your life rights, and we're going to write a book, and we're going to create a movie." And so it got started into motion about 5 years ago. And for me, how I got involved with it is Greg Reed ended up becoming one of my mentors. And I was talking to him one day, and he was telling me how they were filming on set and everything, and they ran out of money. And this happens, I guess, often. They run over budget, on films, and so they needed more money. And so I said, "Well, how much do you guys need?" And he said, $50,000. And I'm like, "Well, I don't have $50,000, but I'd love to participate in some way. How can I? What's the minimum that I can, invest and, participate in?" And he said, $10,000. I was like, "I'm in. I got to be part of this." And what was funny is he said, "I don't think you're ready. I don't think this is a good move for you." And I was like, I am so invested in Frank and his story. And I love this man so much because I got to know him throughout the years. And I was like, I'm in. I got to be in no matter what, So I did it. And I put my money in there. And here we are almost to the date of, actually tomorrow, the 4th of June, is the premiere, Hollywood premiere. So we're going to Hollywood, doing this premiere. So exciting, but it comes out to theaters June 7th.
Oh my goodness. There's lots of really cool stories here. And on the Dreamcast, we're all about taking that big dream and having the courage to actually go do it. And so I love that The Wish Man is all about Frank's story of how he had this idea. And then he had to figure out the how, and he had to step outside his comfort zone, and he had to grow and learn. And doing that, he evolved and became the person that he is today, and has granted so many wishes to so many people. But then the movie itself was another wish, right? A dream that took the grit, the fortitude, the vision in order to see completion. And then you, Lynda, the same thing. You got to be a part of it because you had the courage to say yes. So I'm going to let everybody go to the movie on June 7th to see The Wishman. So I don't want to give everything away, but I would love to hear your favorite memory from making the movie.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be at the filming of it. I really wanted to do it. They were out in Arizona, and I'm in California. Wasn't able to make it out there. But, you know, the tagline for the movie, everyone can be a hero. Here's what was so cool for me, and this is why I really felt compelled. You know, sometimes ideas come in our head and they go, right? They come and go, they come and go. But there was something that just pulled me to this movie, and here's what it is when I first saw Frank speak on stage at Secret Knock, he told his story, and at the very end he said, everyone can be a hero. And at that time in my life, I was I don't want to say downtrodden, but I wasn't really in a good headspace. You know, I grew up in a lot of abuse myself, and I married someone just like my dad. You know, my first marriage. Second marriage is awesome, by the way. But, you know, I married someone. So I had all this negative thoughts in my head about who I was and that I had no purpose being here on this planet. And when Frank said those words, everyone can be a hero, it was something about the way he said it that made me believe, yes, I can be a hero too. And that's kind of what put me on a path of good, a path serving here for good, you know. And so it was really Frank's words that really impacted me so much that that's why I felt like I was compelled to be part of this movie. And it's really changed my life. And I believe that anybody who goes and watches this movie and goes there with an open mind to hear the story, hear Frank's story, how it's told in this film, which it is based on a true story, you'll see the trials and tribulations he went through in his life and how those trials and tribulations ended up becoming the glory of the Make-A-Wish. That's how it got started, because of his past is what created the Make-A-Wish. And we all have that. Everything I'm doing today is based on my past. None of it's based on my future. And we all have that. Are we doing good with it, or are we doing bad with it? And I want to share really quick just one thing that I think is really, really amazing about Frank. He never took a dime from the Make-A-Wish. He was always a volunteer. He was a highway patrol officer for Arizona, and that was his job. Like, he was like, this is what I do. This is what I love. He never took a dime, which is so awesome. And they, of course, have people who are running it and staff and stuff now, but Frank just never took a dime from it. And I think that's amazing.
Wow. Wow. Those are just, I think sometimes we see the stage, you know, we see the banners, we see the glitz, we see the Hollywood premiere, and we don't know the story, the heart, the grit, the power, the struggle, the perseverance behind it. And I love when these types of stories come out, because it makes it so relatable to all of us. We all have that spark inside. We all have that idea that keeps coming back. The truth never changes. And we need to be around other people who continue to say yes too. So we have the courage to say yes to our dreams. So thank you so much, Lynda, for being a part of the Dreamcast today and sharing The Wishman. You guys, go see it this weekend in theaters. I know this is going to bless you and just ignite your spark again.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. You guys go see The Wishman June 7th.
June 7th. We got it. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. I want to hear your aha moment from today's amazing episode. If you could leave a review at whatever podcast player you choose to listen from, Apple Podcast, Castbox, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're listening from, leave a review and share with us your favorite part of today's episode. Thanks for hanging out, and remember to dream big.